Welcome to the Twilight. That is episode 58 of my 248k modded Factorio run on a Ribbon World. Not just because it's kind of dark and my flashlight is doing a thing and my night vision is probably doing a thing. The lights around the base are helping. But also, I was wandering around like adding trains to things and moduling smelting and stuff like that. And then realized that my science had stopped because I'd run out of space science. And that was pretty grim, so I figured this is a decent place to start a new episode and we should figure out what the deal is. And we've got a lot of other kinds of science. Okay, so first let's kick on. Yeah, let's stop doing something that's space science. Also notice the lack of star engine. We'll talk about that in a bit. Let's throw in this beacons thing, because these things using 80 science every 30 seconds are going to chew through that giant backlog. And yeah, space science hasn't been running for a while, but we'll get that done, and all of the backlog will disappear. Let's do some braking speed. We'll talk about other science later, and yeah, lots of Logibots moving a lot of things around. This is now a science that's inserter bottlenecked, which is kind of interesting, but never mind. We'll talk about this later, I think. Let's go and see what the deal is with space science. It's actually not that bad. Where is it? It's over here. The issue with space science is that we have indeed been launching rockets, and that stuff is all cool, except that we have been launching rockets with these other satellites rather than the space science satellites. So I've now got a bunch of deep space data cards, which is, that's cool. I like that. I think one of the techs that finished was another fusion stage space probe, yes, that needed the deep space data cards. And so this is the third. Yeah, this is the third in the 248k mod sequence of launching stuff to get part of the requirements for exotic space science, I think. And then, yeah, so we'd have one of these in here as well, and we'd have one of these, and this kind of stuff. Then I need a longhand inserter here. And the thing is, I think we're actually doing all of this differently, because we'd need to circuit condition these things. Like, yeah, this data we'd request over here, but I think also because what we really want to do is be using these satellites, because we don't have any space science in here. I think the thing we want to do is, yeah, we want to actually just go like grab. I guess we're getting the radar as well, and flip that around, and let's just start on a second silo. Yeah, then we're gonna need to clip a bunch of these things out, aren't we? Like, we don't want these things over the side, and then we also don't want. So I can't pick up this silo, but I can still pick up all of these parts, and it'll be fine, because all the things they were in the middle of building are still going to be in my inventory. Actually, this one here wants to stay. That one wants to be these space probes, and you can just have whatever I've got in my inventory. In fact, you guys can also have whatever I've got in my inventory, because I picked up a bunch of stuff that I don't need. So yeah, so we're going to have another silo here. These beacons are silly. Let's do this slightly differently. Let's have like some here, and then is this one? Yeah, this is in range of all of them. So do I have these bots? Have these as well? Yeah. So we're just going to request things to both of these. That's going to be fine. What we do need, which is pretty important, is we need. Yeah, these chests now need to be connected to these combinators, but then I also want other combinators, say, here as well. So we don't have another silo, so I don't have to worry about these guys launching anything. That's fine. Actually, do I need? No, I don't actually need this here at all. I was thinking I had to combinator. Something like that. I was thinking I had to combinator these combinators to this stuff, but actually this one over here is going to be the things we put in here. Yeah, we're not even launching that, that's fine. Yeah, because the thing we really wanted to do, the main goal of all of this is... Why don't I have green wire? Why do I not have... Did I click on a machine and give away all my green wire? Why am I only getting delivered 8? Where... Okay, cue this. Somewhere in my beacon stuff, I've got a box of green wire that we can just, like, have some of. Okay, because what we really wanted to do is, like, this combinator is checking how much space science we've got, and we are only launching rockets if we've got less than 10k space science in this kind of storage thing. What we also want to do is wire this combinator. Actually, we don't have to have... it could be this inserter. Because we're going to take this for a walk. And we're going to wire it to all of these inserters. And I happen to have exactly the right amount of... that means I don't have enough wire to configure this stuff, but like, these guys are... Yeah, these guys are delivering some wire, that's fine. Because now we only want to have this guy run if I have, say, more than 2,000 space science. So, copy that to all these guys. Yeah, so other than the fact that they don't have a silo, which they're kind of probably sad about, we should work on that. We will now make sure that this silo won't actually build a rocket until we've got at least... Yeah, so we've got an LDS delivery, that's fine. Should I ratchet down? Let's pull, instead of 400, let's have 150 in each of these requests. 150, 150, and that means we're not going to be quite so lopsided with all of this stuff, but also it's still kind of fine. The main solution is going to be build more. Which we'll get around to in a bit, but we're going to reconfigure this stuff here, 150 of each of those. I mean, this is still a lot, right? It's still like, it's like a third of a rocket or so. Okay, so now, yeah, these things will still request, which will be fine, but they won't insert unless I've launched enough here, and so these request chests will then get everything they need until I've got... What did I set this to? 2,000? Yeah, 2,000. And then this will keep going. Give me this back. This will keep going until I've got up to 10,000 space science. And then I also want this stuff to run in kind of the same way. Actually, I did realize that this circuit connection from here to here does not want to exist, which means we have to wire this thing to here to here. Yes, because in the current setup, this, like, if we end up in a situation where we've got a lot of the basic science, the basic green science that this thing gets me on rocket launches, I still want to be able to make the other kinds of satellites, and this combinator checking the green circuits, and this thing also checking green circuits, yeah, green circuits, green data, would have blocked me from making these basic satellites, which I then need to make the upgraded satellites that use that stuff to do other things. And so yeah, now we're back to launching. We're back to launching space science again. This guy's probably fine. This probably has enough solar panels. We can get more if we need to. It's probably fine. Then I needed... Yeah, not even paying attention to rocket launches at the moment. Yeah, so this one is checking... And actually, is this the same concern? This thing is built... Yeah, this one is... The tier 3 rocket is also built from the tier 2 rocket. So I still want to be able to build tier 2 rockets, even if I have enough tier 2 data, because I need to be able to pass them to the tier 3 rockets. And then these are... Yeah, if these request chests have less than 100 of each kind of their science, and then this one is... Yeah, so we're going to need another one of these things somewhere else, whatever. And yeah, I still don't know whether or not one per... Like, one for basic science, one for all these launches. No idea if that's a good ratio or not. If it's not, we'll build more later, it'll be fine. And then we also want to connect the input side of this combinator to the input side of this combinator, and then add in the fusion stage deep space ore. Apparently that's what this is. As far as I can tell, the general theme of how this rocket silo works is this rocket is built from kind of normal stuff, no other spacey type prerequisites, and then when I launch it, gives me the basic green data. The basic green data is ferried over here to these guys that use a different product that we're shipping in from elsewhere to turn that into the compact space data card, which is the pink one. The pink one is then part of the request that this one makes, along with one of the basic satellites, to make another satellite that makes the deep space data. Is that what this one is called? Yeah, and then this third kind of rocket launch takes the deep space data, turns the product from these rocket launches is this deep space ore, which we are now adding but not checking for, and then this, yeah, deep space ore, less than 100? How many was this? Oh no, this gives me 100 deep space ore. Okay, so we really want like 1,000 deep space ore or something like that. And then this is here, but not these, and this may as well clip that back a bit. And now we're requesting all the things we need to make this thing. I've got a lot of stuff in my inventory that I kind of don't care about, but whatever. None of you guys are holding anything. You're all just, yeah, you've all just got satellites just straight up ready to go, and all your inserters are ready, and it's kind of a race to see who gets to put a thing in there first. It's fine. Oh yeah, and then the last thing being this deep space ore that I get from this kind of science. There is a recipe in... is it this recipe? This one I just unlocked? Yeah, I think this was another thing that I unlocked when we got this third kind of satellite launch thing. This one. Yeah, we got the satellite tech, we got this other recipe that we're about to talk about, and we got the exotic science pack recipe. So we can now, if we held all the parts, we don't, we could go and make this last, I think this might be the last kind of science pack in the mod, maybe. I don't remember seeing any others, but this recipe here is the one we wanted to talk about next, and it happens in a purifier. Cool, let's go find a purifier. Do I have a purifier? Let's queue one from one of these mining outposts over here. So yeah, other things that happened in between, I think almost all of the mining is now, all of the smelting is nearly beaconed. Oh, I had one of these on me. I was expecting bots to bring that, but it didn't. So this takes the deep space ore, converts it with a lot of hydrofluoric acid, so we might need that as well, and gives me back 2 things that I need to make the exotic science. So I think what we do here, actually don't need this radar, do I? Can I have, like, I think we're just going to do the same thing, we're just going to logibot this, because there's not all that much of this stuff. But the thing is, I also don't want, like, this is, the other input for this thing is hydrofluoric acid, and this train I could kind of slap together with one wagon because there's nowhere else that I'm delivering this, and one wagon is fine for this. The trains that deliver the hydrofluoric acid are full-size 4-wagon trains, and I kind of don't want that much of a station here, but I'm wondering if... is this here? That there is the spot where this central silo will straddle the 2 central... do I have pumps? I do have pumps. The 2 central wagons of a hydrofluoric acid train. Actually, let's get this guy... let's get this guy in here. And by in here, I mean... if we have this requesting the acid, then we will get some. 1 train limit. This train is probably about to go and turn up here. So this is going to deal with the front 2 wagons, but the thing I wanted to check is there a way... that only just lines up? That's excellent. That is a pattern that I like, because it means that this 4-wagon train will empty all of its stuff into this one silo, and then that's the silo we set the condition on, and then that's going to be, yeah, that's recontents. This is, well, you know... Interesting. Why don't I have acid? That is not a thing I expected. Okay, let's finish setting this up and then, yeah, I guess add it to the list of things we're doing instead of talking about why we're not doing a star engine, I guess, because that's also still on the list of things to... Which way does this mirror? Like that? Yes. Okay, so now this thing wants to only be a real train station if the hydrofluoric acid is less than, say, 40,000. Because I don't think I'm going to need a whole lot of this stuff, and this is also why I wanted a smaller, kind of more sensitive station rather than one of the full-size stations. But yeah, then let's, I guess, finish setting the rest of this thing up, because what I reckon we need here is, like, not something particularly complicated. Let's get these out of the way, and then let's get this. I don't have any more of them. Let's get that purifier somewhere. Okay, now it's in my inventory and I've got to find it. That is, okay, purifier. Can go like here, because that's where it lines up with this station. Did you not even... Oh wow, you didn't even... I'm just short on that acid. Okay, let's go and... So this one is not... It is this one. Nope, that's a request station. It's not the station that's actually making it. Further, is it this? Nope, that's the petrochems. In that case, it is this one. I thought I'd fixed that iron ore problem. Maybe okay. So there's a. I think there should now be a station that has iron ore, and. Yeah, this is what we want to be doing. So that's a normal train. It's going to now go connect to... I think, yeah, there was one of the things I was doing when I was mucking around with smelting is this thing now has another disastrous iron ore train off the side, so we can make thorium fuel again. Why? So I've got acid. Oh, it's a dirty water thing. Interesting. So I'm just not making... The rich water doing thing, that's actually not the train I wanted to look at. Yeah, so it's not having enough dirty water to make the fluorite, to make the hydrofluoric acid, to make this stuff. Okay, because I thought I was going to need to double... Like, I was contemplating doubling this node again. Like, basically grabbing this and putting it somewhere else, because I think that's mostly self-contained, other than the water. And it turns out that's not the problem at all. The problem is that I don't have enough dirty water. Which actually reminds me of another thing that I broke elsewhere. Have we got through this buffer yet? Have we got through... Yeah, so we've emptied out all of those buffers. Okay, that's great. In that case, like, this tick isn't actually a priority. That was just to blast through the stashes we had to make sure that we, like, appropriately used up all the ticks we had. And I think we can probably do this differently. I don't think we need to put everything all in the same box, do we? The military science is going to be a bit of a pain, but I reckon we can do something like... And this is going to... I think this actually increases the size of the buffers that I have. But that also means that I can... Yeah, I'm going to be less inserter bottlenecked. But also we'll have increased the sizes of buffers of science that I can have in these train stations, which is not necessarily a good or bad thing. This one can probably stay because it's kind of bad. We've got a bit of that, yeah, whatever. This train is, yeah, doing... It's going to come back with other science. Okay, so we've run down that science. This thing here wanted to be this material, yes. And then we just wanted to do basically the same thing here. This, just request the weird space ore. Request 100 of the weird space ore. How much do you need per cycle? 10? In 10 seconds? Yeah, that is a lot of acid. I am going to need more acid. We are going to have to resolve that issue. You can have stack inserters because you're fancy, and then I reckon we just go with that. Like these... Yeah, like I don't think I worry about limiting this chest at all, because I think I'm going to need a ton of that stuff. I reckon all of, in fact, these limits can probably come, not these limits, in fact, these limits can probably pull back a bit, so I can have less kind of interstitial stuff, and worry more about getting, yeah, working through to the high tier of stuff rather than building up big stocks of intermediate things. I don't know if I need them for anything else either. It's probably still fine. And then, yeah, then not even concerned about how many of these rockets I launch and how many of this stuff I build up. Because these inserters are still inactive, and also the silo doesn't exist, but we'll get to that in a bit. I'm still going to make sure I get all the space science I need first, and then any other rockets can be doing this stuff. And I guess we go and boost LDS, because LDS looks like the sort of thing that's sad. I'm pretty sure also RCUs, yeah, I mean, there's still, I used to have an RCU buffer, I now don't. Let's actually just, like these guys, I hope it's not green chips that are sad. I hope this is just like a train supply thing. But we'll upgrade all of these things as well. And then all of this actually needs to be upgraded, doesn't it? And then we'll take this section as well. And then maybe it is just a trains thing. Where's your trains at? Because you've got two now. Why are you not turning back on? Oh, there's a lot of green chips in here, and your limit is not very big, so let's make that, say, 800. And then, are you kind of, oh, you're 1,000, okay. 1,000 is apparently the number we're going with, so we're going to make that consistent. And then we'll get some green chips in, we'll have these guys go nice and fast, we've upgraded all these inserters, that'll be just fine. So, we don't have a whole lot of RCUs left over. Rocket fuel, I mean, like, we also used to have a giant buffer here, and we don't have a giant buffer of rocket fuel anymore, so I'm pretty happy that all of those things have been turned into useful stuff. We used to have buffers of components, we no longer have buffers of components, so that's fine. This whole, oh yeah, that's right, yeah, because there's other things that I've broken that I needed to fix again that I have not fixed. So let's go and do some of that, yeah. And then, a while ago, actually, let's talk about the research first while we get distracted by this. Like, there was supposed to be, Star Engine was this thing that I had identified as, like, quite pivotal and an important thing, and has a lot of text and leads into the exotic matter stage, and then it's not in the tech queue anymore, so let's talk about why not. If we're looking at the exotic tech stage, it's kind of, I don't know what this dependency over to the right is, but whatever, we can figure about that. There's kind of three main prongs, it looks like. There's the different rocket launch things, which we've now got, and if we had the acid for it, would be fully automated, other than the fact that we need to build another silo, which we'll get to in a bit, which is cool. There's the Star Engine, and then a bunch of Star Engine recipes with just a lot of science to do, actually. 100 seconds each, 100,000, yeah, and then this one is also, this one is not, the exotic matter stage itself is only 2,000, whereas the prerequisite techs are, you know, hundreds of thousand. The third arm of this is this kind of hydrogen refining thing. And, yeah, spoilers, we're going to do hydrogen refining 1 first, but actually let's talk about all the other, yeah, okay, let's do a couple of other things first. I want to make another rocket silo, so we're going to assign that request to here, and this will have, because the rocket silo is a nice slow recipe of 30 seconds, this request chest will end up with the bots bringing everything I need, except they're apparently short on electric engines, oh well, to be able to make another rocket silo, so that's fine. This one, I decided I was going to make another K2 core, and so that's what this box is doing, because it's requesting all of those parts, except we don't have nuclear assembly machines anywhere. So let's go and quickly lodge all that, like, oh yeah, and then research fuses. How many of these was I making? 16? I don't know how many of those I need, but these things are, I'm kind of like crazy expensive, so I would rather not. You can have these though. Rather not to make too many of them. But yeah, nuclear furnaces. These were a fission stage thing, weren't they? Nuclear assembly machines. Yeah, these are all made from pretty normal stuff. I don't know how much concrete I have, because you're also... Yeah, concrete is a thing. Those are all quite reasonable requests. We'll make 2 stacks of these things. Then this chest, to be able to build the other core, will contain everything it needs, and I'll be able to handcraft and it'll be fine. This one is still waiting on the electric engines, which I guess are just in the yellow science. Oh, because they're... Ah, yeah. So the rich water has died because the fancy acid has died? I thought I had quite a lot of rich water just, like, in a tank. I thought I had multiple rich water builds. Okay, so why don't you have... Ah, okay. Is that station not disabling? Where is this other rich water station? I thought it was on... Yeah, because we took out all of the... greater than 30k, which means that I might have... Wait, what was even your problem? You should have had enough rich water. Should have been fine. I don't understand what the deal is. We're still going to change this to 40, though, just to make sure that we've got enough stuff. Okay, so I have no idea why we're short on electric engines. That's going to be a bit of a thing. Yeah, so now we've got these boxes set up and the requests going. Let's talk about the... Oh no, there was the thing I was going to... That's right, it was the thing I was going to talk about before the tech thing, is that what we really want to be doing is setting up fusion stuff. Like this thing we set up last time, we've got the different kinds of data. We've got like a belt of laser data and magnetic data, and somewhere there's plasma data, and all this stuff is just super backed up, and we've got a train full of this stuff, and that's all kind of fine. And what we were supposed to be doing today is figuring out how to make fusion data. And fusion data looks like it has a bunch of different recipes. I poked around with these a bit, and all of these recipes come from protium and deuterium, sure, and then sometimes lithium, and most of those products come from... Here's the lithium one. This one is the one that spits out the bulk of protium and deuterium, and then so it's just... I think these are all fluids because they happen in an oil refinery, which also means there's just vast volumes of stuff to deal with and barely any tritium, and we need hydrogen. And the way we get hydrogen is from a couple of different recipes. We've got some oxygen to vent. I don't think the oxygen does anything. We've also got some gold that we have to deal with. So that's what we would go and build for fusion if we were doing that now. Spoilers, we're not. Because, remember we were talking about a thing in the tech menu, this hydrogen refining gives us other different recipes that let us work towards having less oxygen to vent. And there's 3 levels of this. We're going to queue up... Do we want 2 as well? Yeah, I think we want 2. I think we just want to rush our way through... Where's 3? Rush our way through all of these things, because it turns out I was poking around. We can do this even before we get to the exotic matter stage. These are all just the techs we've already got automated. The level 3 version of this, or at least the level 4 thing gifted to us by the level 3 tech, is we don't get any oxygen to vent. It's just water straight into hydrogen. The oxygen is either vented in the middle of the process or through various interdimensional subatomic magics, just never there somehow. It just goes water straight to hydrogen, whatever. So the point being, if I can faff around and get other things done and wait for this research to tick over and start building the fusion stuff with this recipe, that's a whole lot easier. So we're going to see if we can do that. So we've got... And also, yeah, how much of these takes? 8,000, 20,000, 60,000. All of that ends up being less than the Star Engine, which is 100,000. So pretty happy slapping these techs in. And so I guess we look for other things to do while we're waiting for that fusion research to happen. And it turns out the one that I've realized, like some things we kind of broke. Some things are still. Yeah. So we're not going to get that silo for a while. We've actually got to go and fix the next thing to get that silo, to get the gold, to get the electrics. Wait, no, the gold should be fine. I thought that was a rich water thing. And then, yeah, it was a rich water thing. This station, okay, let's bump this up to 60k, just to make sure you always get your stuff. Actually, do I have... There's only one rich water train. And I do have multiple rich water stations. Okay. Another thing I've been doing a bunch is... Yeah, just setting up more trains. So most of the standard train routes now have multiple trains supporting them. And we're now going to just add another train to the have rich water. And then go to please rich water. And this is... Okay, so I've got 3 rich water stations. There is a chance that one of these will get stuck somewhere. Time passed, just a little bit of a fueling loop of like 5 seconds, probably fine. Yeah, then we're going to have more trains that will be delivering the things we need to the places they need to go, and hopefully that all works out. Yeah, then I need a train, because I still also need trains. Do I have... I've got 1 turbocharger and 2 nuclear reactors, which is not the ideal configuration. Yeah, have some of that as well. Get me... Oh, actually, this box here. This box here has the turbochargers that I want. Also, if I'm low on electric engines, how many Spidertrons have I made? Because I automated Spidertrons a while ago, and I've made all 12 Spidertrons that I wanted. That could be why I have no electric engines. And then also I made a bunch of... I've made all of these legs. Yeah, that's... Is that more legs than I want? If I've got 12 Spidertrons, I probably want a whole ton of legs. And then this I actually... Okay, so that's as many... I don't even know if I'm using those. I think I might end up using the mod fission ones instead of the fusion ones. But is this... Yeah, I was just checking on the Spidertrons there, wasn't I? Yeah, okay, so... this thing should start to get... Yeah, so we're nearly at the point where we can make another of those cores. We need to... Yeah, we're starting to get some electric engines. That's all fine. The thing that I broke, that I knew that I broke, that we have to go and fix with some degree of urgency, or at least patch in differently with some degree of urgency, is the old ceramics build. Because this ceramics build was one of the things that was using... Let's actually just go and check that the labs are still doing a thing. Yeah, labs are still doing a thing. Yeah, we don't have... We don't have a whole lot of... Yeah, it's a decent amount of science there. Yeah, okay, that's going. I'm happy with that. Yeah, that beacon tech, actually, I'm pretty happy with the way that blasted our reserves of all of these things. Yeah, this ceramics build, because this used to be the ceramics build that was powered by the solid fuel that came from the light oil from the original petrochem. And so we cut off that pipe over here, so all of these things can go. In fact, this entire light oil into solid fuel build can just go, and so can... Where is this? Oh, I probably don't want to be deleting... Wait, no, I can delete those, can't they? Because all that water does is go down here and make the steam. So in fact, yeah, all of this stuff can go. But this is actually not the important thing that I should be doing about this. The important thing I should be doing, and the reason why we don't have enough dirty water, is one of the places we get dirty water is from these things making the aluminium. Wait, why don't you should still be... no, I guess because this is all direct insert. This is all direct insert, so you have enough aluminium, but you don't have the ceramics. Yeah, because this... Okay, also we need to get rid of this combinator. Yeah, because this node here used to be making the ceramics that trundled across here and into the composites build. So blue science is quite possibly also... no, the sciences are fine. We've still got a buffer here for the ceramic composites. What we don't have... yeah, is this dirty water train. You just go and give that to someone who wants dirty water, which is... That is, in fact, the acid build. So yeah, that's going to be a thing that's necessary. What we need to do here, given that... Yeah, because the plan was to stop these, because these were based on steam from boilers making making steam from solid fuel from light oil. So we're going to stop doing that. What we want to do instead is train in ceramics from any one of the other places that are making ceramics, which we can do just by grabbing a regular ceramic station like so and smacking it in. I guess not here. We have to figure out how we get this stuff underground as well. Is this... That's in the right place, isn't it? Yeah, all those... These things don't want to exist, and then we've got to get this stuff, which is actually going to be pretty... why are these... Are these in a different place that they used to be? It's probably fine. Probably what we're going to do is just upgrade this to red belt, and then poke a red belt through here and just split it over here again. In fact, we can do that. I saw a train go past. I presume I wasn't standing on the tracks on the grounds that I am still alive. That was actually not the one I wanted to upgrade. Okay. I wanted to get rid of this one, and then upgrade this much of a thing. Because that should be quite easy to poke this thing into... Do I have... I guess in the purple science, I should have one of these things... Yeah, this is a good enough station to turn into... because these are both yellow belts. If this one here is a red belt, then all that works. Why are my bots not... Who's bringing me this train station? Someone should be bringing me this train station. I kind of want... don't worry, I could do it myself. Okay, so now we've got a ceramics train. We've got 2 ceramics trains now. That improved. But we also kind of need all these boxes and all these stack inserters before this does a thing. But that's probably fine. We can sneak this guy through... Actually, through, like, here? Yeah, something like that. And then... not that. Because I don't think I have any... Yeah, I don't have any red belt on me, but that's fine. Okay, so that, once everything gets built, and it's still a little bit of an issue, but bots should be on the way, that should restart the ceramic composite supply, which should get the dirty water build more stuff. Oh, that's... Wait, I thought I had more dirty water over by the steel, and I do. And then this is greater than 40. Yeah, so part of the problem is that, and this is actually a really good thing to notice and fix, is that I don't think this station is disabling. It's not. So we actually want to connect... Yeah, this station is connected to the pump. It also wants to be connected to the station, because this station should not be active, and then this train we can send to have dirty water, and it will go to the steel and slag based dirty water instead of, you know, the node that doesn't have anything. And then we should hopefully be able to restore our dirty water supply to the base. What is this? Yeah, so let's just change this to greater than 400, because turns out we might want quite a lot of this, because we also kind of want quite a lot of acid to be doing the ore upgrades that we want to do. Do I still have... Yeah, this train with the superchargers. Okay. What is the next little distraction that we can do while we're waiting for Tex to do a thing? I think we can go and build... We can go and build a rocket silo. Oh, there was... Yeah, there was the stone miners as well, weren't they? They were another good thing that we were going to be doing. In fact, I also figured out a thing about that, is that I actually kind of need to be over here for this one, don't I? Definitely for this one, because we don't actually have radar coverage on it. But I realized that I could actually get rid of a large number. Like, I can get rid of this many of them, which means we have to kind of remodule how that fits together. And then also, yeah, where's my upgrade planner that will convert everything to red belt that I can just swing over this whole thing? I guess I don't need to worry about the inserters. Yeah, let's get the inserters as well, that'll be fine. So all that's going to go to red belt, and yeah, did some math, because these ones are... Yeah, these stone quarries are crafting speed 1, fuel consumption 1, pollution 20 per second. Then the upgraded ones that we have are same pollution, same drill consumption, but crafting speed 3 and base productivity 5, which means instead of, I think I had 20, yeah, I think I had 20, that it's only counting 9, it's not counting the deleted ones. 7, 13, 9, is that 7? Yeah, 7, yeah, 7 here, another 4 is 11, yeah, I had 20, and then I reckon that 9 will just be, actually, can I do this in an upgrade planner? I haven't actually checked whether or not these are the same size yet, that could be a thing. This one to Stone Quarry 1. Yeah, so they will upgrade in place, which is kind of vital. That's a thing that we're going to find necessary. And then I reckon these 9, because of the increased speed and the productivity bonus, will actually be able to get me double the rocks out, which is pretty exciting. And then I also need to swipe over this upgrade planner. Let's do the entire thing. So this would actually let me move all of this to another section of the base if I wanted to, because yeah, the other sections of the base don't have, but also, do I need to? I mean, this looks a lot like I'm kind of backed up on stone and don't really need to worry about it. And then also whether or not these guys, in fact, we might want to module those differently, but we'll worry about that later. Because we are hopefully, I was not standing anywhere near the tracks, fine. Hopefully we do not have the electric engines we want, which is a shame. So we do have the nuclear assembly machine we want, so that's good. We can pick all of these up and craft a tier 2 K1 core, and then the plan for this is down here. We can have another one of these, needs to be here, because we've got to somehow get this fuel. Okay, so this can move back one, and then we can poke this through here, and then we can run this down here, and that's actually not... Okay, no, this is also fine. We can bring this out this way, because the entire point of this is to be able to get more of these red cubes out. And so we're going to do that by... Yeah, we're going to do that by just having another of these cores, which the bots don't have, but I'm still in the middle of handcrafting, actually. And then these would put twice as many cubes on here, but I think actually at this point, I think these have not had their recipe set. That's a good trick. Yeah, I don't know about this pump now, because I kind of want to prioritize this over these two, but also I should be making enough of this now, but I also don't know if I'm making enough input, so all of that we will just claim is fine and worry about later. How are you guys? We're now short on yellow science, okay, but it is still running. Okay, fine, moving on, I guess. Are the other techs at least faster? 65,000, 8,000, yeah, they're not that much faster, are they? This is still going to take a while to chew through all of that tech. Oh well. Can I have... Okay, no. Can I find like in here and then not in there? If you're requesting 112, you probably only don't need that many. And then you don't use electric engines. And then none of these other things use electric engines, do they? Bit of a shame. I would like there to be more electric engines that I could steal, because I want to make the other silo. And this is still short. Okay, let's go and do the other stone miner ceramics fix thing, and hopefully when we get back we will have made... You guys are making electric engines? Yellow Science is making electric engines. Yeah, so we are making the electric engines, that's all fine. And this neodymium thing is... these ones are not running because they don't have drone frames, because you're not getting... Also, the neodymium is actually not getting all the way to the end of So I'm neodymium limited on the flying robot frames rather than the yellow science. I'm still fine with that. It's getting, like, we're getting a lot more done. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, because the thing that struck me about doing all of this is the bots have just taken a lot of these drill bits and rock parts into the storage network, and I kind of don't think I want any of those in the network at all. I would rather just, for example, request, let's request, where are these vision stage drills? Request me 200 drills. I'm not building these in the Logimall. The only place these are getting built are here in these things, and so this will hopefully just pull all of the drills out. Yeah, all the drills that used to be on the belts down here and in these machines, pull those out of the logistics network and recycle them back into the system, please. Then the next thing is, yeah, maybe all these belts could go in different places because the outputs for, are we at least? Oh yeah, but they've got the upgrade queued. That's fine. The science is definitely moving. Yeah. So we need to get. I think this ends up making me. Did I anticipate that this made a full belt of this stuff? That's pretty wild. Yeah. So we'll do this, and we'll kind of bring this over here, and that. I think we're actually going to need to do some trickery here to make sure all of these are... no, this one did need to be this kind. But then... You know, I also need them to be on the other side of the belt, don't I? I've got to do a thing, like, somewhere in the middle that does... Upper priority left. Yeah. And then we'll upgrade all of these, so all of this is red, because it kind of needs to be red. So yeah, so I reckon all of this... that was that tech finishing. That's nice. Now we are working on the hydrogen refining, of which we need to get the next 3 techs done, and then we can do fusion stuff. But I think this... Yeah, this... If each of these are making a third of a belt, then the first 2/3 are going to end up more than half a belt, so we have to do this switch here to make space. But then we have to completely fill the far side of the belt so we can merge these ones in, and that's all kind of fine. That's going to do a thing that it needs to. Okay, so we've got a red belt of stuff over here, and then I guess we just do all of this section differently. And I don't know... I was wondering whether or not I tried to do something else with this square. Maybe, maybe not. I think one of the things I was considering was... Because there's 2 recipes that let me deal with these crushed rocks. In fact, you can just have what is in my inventory. It's fine. There's another one that lets me just straight up crush them in a crushing factory. So I was wondering whether I was going to run the overflow of this stuff into just a normal crushing thing over here, because that might end up being more space efficient. But I think it's fine. I think we just set this up and then worry about things like that later. So we've still got, yeah, so we've got all that stuff coming out here. This then wants to, because the deal with this one is this still wants to prioritize from the right. And then also wants to be upgraded to red belt. Because this one from the right is the... Yeah, is the thing that takes... Is the thing that, yeah, because these guys don't just take the rock fragments, they have a chance to spit out the rock fragments, which is the thing we got to handle. And we are handling it, we just got to make sure we also treat that input. So one of these things is going to go in here, and then I guess also just like split here or something, and we'll use red belt for all of this, because why not? And then the other input also goes in there, and bots are somewhat free. Okay, so the other thing, in the same way that I don't want these drills in the logistics network because I've got nothing else to do with them, I also don't want... Where will this actually, there's no place where this will connect to... Yeah, oh well, I guess putting it here. Yeah, I don't want these rock fragments in the logistics network either, because they're not getting anything done. So we're going to request them here and re-ingest them. And so I picked up a bunch of them from the belts, like when we blitzed the bottom of this thing, when we picked up some of these stone miners, we got a lot of those in the logistics network, so the logistics bots can bring those here, and we can just lane balance them and then recycle them into this rock system, and everything will be fine. We then want to copy all of this, because... Did I pick up that train again? Yeah, I did. The train is over here. Because... put some fuel in the train. Because we've got another one of these nodes over here that has... Yeah, intersections. That has basically everything else going on in the same place. Let's actually... Is this an LDS node? Is the LDS fine? The LDS is kind of not fine. And it's just because, oh, this is the same thing, where this chest and now the station turns on. Yeah, so let's have this less than 1,000. I think for this to work, I might need to limit this first chest, because we're still going to run into the situation where... we can make this slightly better by upgrading all of these things. In fact... I think if I was putting LDS somewhere else, and I think I might be, I think we need to just swipe over this with the make everything red belt upgrade planner. And there was no belt balancing in there, so all that's going to be fine. And then I think, I don't know if I need to or not, but a thing we're going to do is we're going to get a generic upgrade planner, and we're going to make all of this, okay, some of this through the middle, is going to be blue belt. I don't know if we need that. It means we can beacon these harder if we want to. Yeah, so where's the other LDS? And we can kick off that upgrade as well, because it's not like the bots have a lot of things to do. Where's this one? Over here. So that's all those upgrades, including all of these upgrades. Oh, this station wanted to change to like 1,000. And then we want a generic upgrade planner over these guys. Yeah, I think it does... Maybe this needs to be blue belt. It's going to be fine. These inserters are going to be able to pick up off the blue belt. That'll be fine. We'll just make sure these belts are nice and full. All of that is good. And then we need to kind of blast this node in the same way that we blasted the other one. So I think... Oh, here's a logistics storage that's trying to So this is like the passive version of the recycling I just tried to do. Yeah, we were trying to catch all of the rock and re-ingest it into the rock processing, rather than actively pull it out of the network. But it's fine. We're still gonna do the same thing. Do I have? I do still have it in the place buffer, which is excellent. So all you guys want to just disappear. Thanks. You did good stuff. I mean, you're not even getting retired. You're getting upgraded. You're going back to the Logimall, where the Logimall will upgrade you to a stone 3 furnace, and then you'll get to go somewhere as a stone 3 furnace, which is pretty exciting for you. This upgrade planner is going to do exactly that to these 9 stone furnaces. You will come back as stone furnace 3s, which is exciting for you. And then we also want this red belt upgrade thing, which did I swipe it over the inputs last time? Did I? Yes, the entire node got red belt and fast inserters, which is, to be fair, what should be happening. Because if I want to put this in a different node, I will have to do. I mean, that's the entire point of this upgrade planner. Yeah, all those things can do that. So then, if these things are deleted, are those yellow belt outputs in the same place? They were, weren't they? And they were upgraded, which is fine. And then over here, some of these things, yeah, we're just gonna have construction bots be extremely unhappy about that for a bit. Some of these also get to disappear. You know what I should do? Don't do that. I don't have an active provider chest. Bring me an active provider chest. Just like a couple. Because if we active provider this chest, then all the logistics bots, of which I've got 2,500 logistics bots free, will turn up and move all this stuff around. Whereas if I Alt-D it and deconstruction planner it, the construction bots, of which I only have 600, none of which are free, will be moving this around themselves, which is not nearly as good. So we do want this upgrade planner swiped over all this stuff, and then I should be able to, if I have got this in the right place. Yeah, so with all of those upgrades done, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't accidentally get any of these things not upgraded, because then the blueprint paste would have failed, because I would not have been able to put the right thing in the right. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to put the red belt in places where there was already yellow belt. But getting all these upgrades in means that this all does what it needs to, and bots continue to be unhappy. Let's check on whether or not my base bots have been given. Are there 200? There are indeed 200 electric engines in that chest, which is good because it means I can go and handcraft the other silo, because of course we're doing things with handcrafting. Where are the bots that are bringing me this? So yeah, so how did that LDS upgrade go? Are you guys done with the LDS upgrade? Because you don't have a whole lot of LDS sitting around, and you've got 6 beacons in the thing. How many beacons do I have free? I do in fact have 6 beacons free, and the thing I'm thinking about that is, first of all, are there other train? There are no other stations. Yeah, there are no other stations in these other blocks, which means, yeah, I don't have to worry about there being train stations in the way. So we're going to expand our LDS by picking up this whole thing. This is how rail bases work, and moving over to this other section of the grid where we've also got the build train over here, and figuring out where this can go. I guess we've got plastic over here. Steel is going to be coming a long way anyway. Copper we've kind of got down here, but whatever. I don't really want to build it too far out. But also this thing is going to get smelting. So actually, I think it's getting smelting here, isn't it? Depending on whether or not I need more steel. I may already be overthinking this, and I think, oh no, we can't drop it in here. This is the boundary between the 2 construction grids. In that case, I reckon just here? I reckon we just drop this LDS build in here, and the bots will just get on with it. These aren't even the same 600 bots that are doing anything. These are... well, they don't have any logistics bots. That's why we don't have all the train fuel we wanted. That's interesting. But yeah, the bots over here should have all of these things. They should have these beacons. They should have blue belt. They should have red belt. They should have all the inserters they need. They can just get that stuff done. Then when these train stations exist, it will just be another station that's also making LDS. So we've just boosted our LDS output, which is cool. These boxes, give me these, because I want active provider U. Just logistics bots can go and put that stuff in storage. Yeah, items for pickup, 1.9 thousand. So that's what we wanted to do there. Where I guess I could have also done that with a upgrade planner, but never mind. Is this... yeah, this is the right way. So we don't need to be here anymore. The bots have got a lot of things to do here. They've got a lot of upgrades to get in play, but also we're kind of good for having all of that done. Let's go back to the core. And yeah, let's check on the dirty water situation. And it's still kind of not going. The ceramics are going, the offshoot ore is going. Is this kind of doing everything it needs to? This was one of the places where I needed to upgrade belts, wasn't it? There was These, yeah, these purifiers are short of stone. So if I upgraded these things and then these things and then also these things, that gets me... I mean, it's going to unlane balance it. This used to be lane balanced because both lanes of this belt were getting fully used because the belt was getting fully used. This way is no longer going to be lane balanced because we're going to end up with surplus capacity here, and the inside is going to be taken over the outside, although this side is going to be the other way. So I think overall this is still effectively lane balanced, and that might get us more stuff out. These guys are doing the same thing. Yeah, all of these are occasionally short on stuff, and I think it's because I still need to just upgrade this stuff. I think this was a thing I was planning on doing at some point when I had red belt, and then just didn't get around to needing to, and now we kind of have. But that's fine. Okay, so this should let me craft a second rocket silo. So we can have... Actually, we've got... None of these storage boxes. They're active providers, but not storage boxes. Bots want the K2 core, which they're going to immediately do something with, and then I guess we just go and we can go and put down this rocket silo ourselves, and then we can also see whether... Have you still not got... You've still not got any acid. Where are you going to... You are going to the one that we would like you to go to, so that's nice. So we can get some amount of acid. But this also uses... Yeah, it uses a lot of acid. But then again, if I get 80,000 acid delivered, this is 80 cycles, which is like 8 rocket launches of the highest tier, and then also all the other rocket launches along the way. So I think I'm probably fine with that. These are still disabled because I don't have enough space science. Okay, that's good, because I didn't want to start building this rocket before it had its productivity modules, but also all these inserters are off, so they're not going to build the rocket anyway, and so bots will probably... Okay, other than the fact that there are no bots free, yeah, let's go and do that ourselves, because I would rather have that silo, it's over here, that silo built with productivity 3 modules in all cases, and we've got these modules sitting around. Like the base is... Like I'm still kind of surprised that it built all 12 Spidertrons already. I kind of wasn't expecting that, but I'm also, I'm okay with it. The base is ticking over. Yeah, there was what was the other... There was some other Spidertron stuff. Oh, that's, yeah, other definitely Spidertron things we need. Like, we are already making laser turrets. Let's make some more laser turrets, because the other thing we also want to make are PDLs, which I think I made somewhere else, but I don't have anything that... I've got some steel that you want. Yeah, I think I was making PDLs somewhere else, but not that many of them. Then let's also, from the fission stage, make... I think I want to use these portable reactors. Like how... does this tell me what the grid size is? 10 by 6. Yeah, I definitely want to be using these portable nuclear reactors. Those are not the reactors, these are the reactors. Portable nuclear reactors, yeah. And you are... don't... Oh, I guess you're delivering 4 because that's what... That's how many things Logibots carry. But then also we probably only want 1 stack of those. Maybe? Okay, so that's a lot of stuff that Logibots are going to be, with mold stuff. I think this is... What were there other things I wanted to do? We've done red chips. Let's check on... We've done some LDS. We haven't done any red chips. Red chips was a thing that we kind of looked at and then poked. And then this... So this dirty water situation is solved... Kind of. Because we're making a bunch of ceramic, where this train station is now turning on if it needs to, which is fine. Actually, this... Okay, because we're pumping into this tank, this probably needs to be more than 40k. It probably needs to be about 70k. Because if we've got, 30k, 13k, 5k, these are not balancing over these tanks particularly well. But I still... Like, if a train pulls in here, we've got to get 25k out of this pump here. which is going to be a bit of a mess when they're not kind of balancing as well as they could be, but whatever. Yeah, I think I've talked myself into putting this even higher. By the time this one has 80k, hopefully this has 50, hopefully this has 30, and we can fill a train. Yeah, let's wander back to the new rocket silo, and see whether or not we're making stuff, and we are not, because we don't have, yeah, because we haven't launched this, because we haven't launched these rockets yet. This is the thing we need to launch into space. We're not launching it into space because, oh, we're not launching it into space because we're down to needing, oh, we're down to needing accumulators. I thought we were going to need solar panels. Okay, so let's check, because the only place we're making accumulators is over here, and it is still going fine. They're just working on stuff. I think we just make them work harder on stuff. Given I didn't realize that we were waiting on accumulators. Where have accumulators gone? Wherever, oh, over there, over there. Yeah, we're going to solve this by, you get 2 speed modules, you get 2 speed modules. Oh, it looks like am I low on batteries. Let's also then increase these requests, because these are not expensive requests. We can handle bumping this up a bit. And then do we have batteries, I guess, is the question. Can't really tell from that view. Which of these is... One of these is going to be a batteries request station, and it's disabled, which means we have a bunch of batteries in storage, which means this should go fine, and if logistics bots can get around to it, if logistics bots could please bring some batteries, we should be able to make a lot of accumulators. Okay, so somewhere over in this stone station is yeah, an active provider chest I can only just see, but that wants to not be there anymore. This also wants to not be here anymore. This guy is also, yeah, I guess one of the reasons why the construction bots struggled with all of this is because these full stone quarries also had the drills and another 100 rocks in them, which was just a lot of jobs for bots to be running around doing. But that's fine. We've let's check on this new LDS build as well, because that went down as well in a different place, and that's not the one. The one we put down is even further out, isn't it? It's this one here, which is, you know, it's going fine. It doesn't have logistics bots, because this network doesn't have logistics bots, because that was kind of silly. But we do in fact have a new LDS station. We are producing LDS. I might end up being short of plastic, but plastic is one of the things that has 2 trains now, so it's probably not a trains issue. Yeah, we just keep going with that. RCUs are backed up. Why are RCUs backed up? Let's not have RCUs back up. Does that mean it's actually a rocket fuel issue? I mean, I can check this by looking at the rocket fuel node. That's the other thing we can do. Okay. Yeah, I think we had a different pattern for this before, didn't we? And we're going to go back to that old pattern. We're going to do this. We're going to have one of these. We're going to have a lot of RCUs cached, and these deleted RCUs, we've also just given bots a bunch of new things to do, but they can just go back to the main storage, and like the rocket silos are requesting them anyway. It's fine. Where is this dirty water? Yeah, dirty water is in a kind of a rough place now. I think maybe I just get rid of this purifier. Because I think most of these loops don't have purifiers at all. Like, this was the only purifier doing anything. And that just means I need more deliveries of water here, but we're kind of fine. These guys are... Oh, here's some train fuel that we can make bots feel even worse about. Let's crank this down to 5 seconds. Sure, and then these guys don't have any overflow to deal with at all, and I might be back into having a dirty water problem, which is not what I was expecting. I think also, like, I can get more steel in here. If I get this train station operational again, then we can have more steel going in here, which is more processing, which is more dirty water coming out of this steel. How far away is... The other steel is not too far away, is it? I could connect, because these are also at the moment closed loop systems. Like this tank provides like a reservoir, but also with headroom, so that all of these guys can process it into dirty water, and then this purifier just goes back around the loop the other way. But I could also hook these into the other dirty water system, because it looks like I'm going to need a lot of dirty water. Actually, especially if the next thing to happen, because we still haven't done anything with fusion because we're still waiting on the recipe we want, is if we're doing a bunch of stuff with this lithium comes from crushed lithium, which also comes from dirty water. So we're going to need a lot more dirty water, and I don't know what good ways there are for... Yeah, I don't know what good ways there are for me to get dirty water other than just grabbing it from... Because I do have a lot of ore processing in different places that I'm just not grabbing the dirty water for. But I think we're mostly fine. Oh, last thing to do, let's check on rocket fuel, because yeah, it's going, we've got a lot of it. It's fine, that's all doing a thing. I think we're just waiting on yeah, we're waiting on those accumulators. Those accumulators, if we got the accumulators, we'd be able to launch satellites. Tech is going again, which is nice. I don't have any buffers in the train of either yellow or purple sites, which means it's all in these request chests, which is great, because it means it's all getting used. We're up to... Yeah, we've got about a whole rocket launch worth of stuff there. I think the last thing we're going to do, having had several last things, is... Yeah, these solar panels. We don't need these solar panels anymore. They can all go away. I mean, it's not that... It's not even that we're like retiring these solar panels. These solar panels get to go from being in a dirty, smelly place next to mining with all of this pollution. This is not a good place to be if you were a solar panel. They get to instead be solar panels in space. So that's also an upgrade for them, in the same way that we're upgrading the stone miners. These guys are all going to get to go to a more exciting place, get more direct sunlight, which I guess is what makes a solar panel happy. And yeah, that's probably episode length. Weird mishmash of stuff that we got done. I think there's... Yeah, so there's another mining patch to upgrade that doesn't have the smelting bonuses yet. I want to get through both of these before using one of these recipes to not have to worry about oxygen. But that's another 80,000 science to push through. So we're going to find something else to do next time as well, which is fine. Yeah, got a lot of stuff done. Did many things. Is good.